Hey everybody, it is Eric Lucas with GG Homes here in San Diego, your favorite local real estate house buyer. And I wanted to make a quick video today to address a common subject that I deal with, something that's a little bit controversial, something that we all talk about a lot, and something that we hear about a lot, and that is relisting the property with the agent who brought us the deal, or relisting the finished product, as I like to say. And if you are a realtor and you help investors find fixers, the one thing that you are probably always talking about and always hearing about is investors offering the realist on the finished product. And really, as investors, it's the only way to be competitive. I think there's about 5 or 6 big groups here in town, with us being one of those, that are always buying. And we all are really kind of about the same in what we pay for the property and what we offer. And the realist is something that we all try to offer and that you're always getting pitched. So the problem is, as many of you know and have experienced, not every company handles the realist the same way. There are some companies out there that will give you the realist on the back end. There are some companies that will give you the realist on the back end, but they'll try to cut down your commission. There are some that will promise you the realist, but if they go over budget, they won't give you the realist. And then there are also quite a few companies that will promise you the realist, but have absolutely no intention of giving you the realist. And when the time comes to make good on that promise, they totally ignore you and vanish, and they had no intention of giving you that realist from the get-go. So I made a video a while back where I said last year that I think about 47% of the time, on 47% of the deals that I brought to GG Homes last year, the agent was able to get at least some type of realist. So about 50% of the time, the agent is able to relist the finished product with us at some tier at least. And I talked about too what can determine whether an agent gets a realist or not in a previous video. Look back on that if you want to see that video. But so about half the time, if we're giving an agent the realist and the finished product, everything is all good. The other time though, that can leave feelings to be hurt. And I actually got a text a few weeks ago from an agent, and it really pissed me off, but it also kind of made me sad and upset me, because it was an agent who we had bought the property with, and I had told her up front that a realist was not possible. As a matter of fact, I've got email records of all this. My first offer was $475, and I said, hey, look, at $475, we can relist the finished product with you, and we can sign that listing agreement up front. And those of you that have worked with me know that my first offer will always include a 5% realist. And I usually will say that up front, hey, I can buy this property, I can pay this amount, and I can relist with you at 5%. If your seller wants more, I can counter. If you've got another offer on the table, I might be able to go higher, but that could affect the realist. So if we can get this done at this number, and the seller is happy with that, then everybody wins, everybody goes home happy. So in this particular situation, the seller wanted $525. The agent came back to me and told me that. I said, well, look, let's try $500. At $500, we can still realist with you at some tier, maybe 1.5%. So 1.5 to the selling side, 2.5 to the buying side. She came back and she said, no go. My seller still wants $525, but if you guys can come up to $512, $500 and split the difference, we can get the deal done. So I said, okay, we can do that, but at $500, it was kind of a skinny deal. At $512, $500, it's a really, really skinny deal. I do not have any room for a realist with you at $512, $500. I want to make sure you know that. And we went back and forth via email a few times, and I said, hey, look, the bottom line is I cannot give you the realist on this if you get this offer accepted, unless we see some crazy appreciation in the market between now and the time we sell. And I don't see it likely with this market. I don't see us doing any better on our ARV. And the way it's penciling out now, it's skinny. So she was okay with it. We got the deal, the seller signed. But I did notice that her tone changed as soon as we got it under contract, and then she knew she wasn't getting the realist. And I probably honestly should have addressed it at that time. I could tell that she was a little upset. And I don't know why I was totally upfront with her. But I should have dug deeper, right? In sales, if someone's got an objection, you need to address it. So anyway, we ended up relisting the property. We got exactly what we thought we were going to get on the ARV for it. We did make some money on it, but it was a skinnier deal. So anyway, this was a few months ago we sold it, and then she just sent me a text at random telling me that, that we had screwed her on the back end, and that, I was dishonest, and that, I should have given her the back end. And like I mentioned before, I was pissed off, but I was kind of sad because I was completely upfront with her. I've got email records showing all of this, and now she's upset with me, and I really don't know why. But, I guess feelings just do get hurt from time to time when you don't give an agent that back end. And I get it, but, at the same time, it's a little irritating. And this particular agent works for Century 21, and she said that she had spoken out at Century 21 meetings saying that, warning other investors about us or other realtors about us and saying we were dishonest. And I kind of think that's unfair when we were upfront with her from the beginning and told her that, that there would be no relist. And this doesn't happen a lot, and most of the time I think we are able to make agents happy. But, there are those times when it's a skinny deal and feelings get hurt. And I'll give you 2 more examples. There was another agent that we were working with on another Claremont deal, actually. We buy in Claremont a lot, one of our favorite areas, obviously. And we were trying to get the deal for $600. At $600, again, I told her we can get the deal and we can sign a listing agreement with you up front on the property. Long story short, we went back and forth. She accepted another offer. That offer fell out. We then were able to get the property under contract for $625, I believe. But I told her, I said, the relist just might not happen on this. Now it's a little skinny. At $600, we could have given you the relist. At $625, it's kind of tight. But I said, you know what? We'll keep an open communication on this. We'll see what repairs come in at. And if we stay under budget and if ARV stays steady, we might give you the relist. This agent was not the best agent we've ever dealt with. I would just say that. She made a pretty major, crucial paperwork error that in my 12 years in real estate, I've never seen an agent make. So we were able to buy the deal. Escrow was a little shaky in large part due to her. And, at the end of it, we kind of looked around and said, it was a skinny deal. We didn't promise her the relist. After our experience working with her on the escrow and the purchase, we don't trust her to handle the relist the right way. So we didn't give her the relist. And she got upset with us as well. So, I understand it, but at the same time, that agent kind of shot herself in the foot by making this really ridiculous paperwork error that really was a scary error to make, and I won't elaborate on it any more than that. The last bad example I'll give, and then I'll give a few examples where we did, I think, better than expected. There was an agent on a deal in Del Cerro. Again, it was a tight deal. We had promised her the relist. She actually ended up bumping us in price because she got another offer on the last minute. So we came up 10 grand, and I said, well, we can come up, but we can't give you the relist, if we come up to this number. And, sure enough, we were able to buy it, still make a little bit of money on the deal. It was a skinnier deal. And that agent actually was okay with it. She understood that, I think it was like at 450, we had a deal to give her the relist, but she bumped us to 460 at the last minute, and that threw us off. But at least there's no hard feelings there, and that agent still sends us deals, and I think we're on good terms with her. So, these things happen. I try to address them. I really try to make everybody happy. But, if you're working with us on these deals, help me help you. And even if you are not getting the relist because it's a skinny deal, if we have a really smooth transaction with you, a smooth close, and maybe we do a little bit better on repairs, or maybe ARV spikes a little bit, we are reasonable in that we might look at giving you some type of relist, especially if you really work hard and deserve it. And one example was the deal in Vista where we had an agent. The homeowner had a mood disorder. They were having a real hard time getting rid of the property. She chased this owner around for 3 months trying to get us the deal. And we kept going up in price, up in price, up in price, to the point where I said, hey, look, it's a skinny deal. I can't give you the relist, but let's just try to get it done. So we did. We ended up buying it. But we actually, I think we were projecting ARV would be like 475. And by the time we were done, there were some new comps that closed, and we thought we might be able to get 499 ARV. So we talked about it, and I said, hey, look, this agent really worked hard to get us the deal. She's an awesome agent. She, was really great to work with. Let's give her some type of relist because we're going to end up being able to hit our numbers, maybe even doing a little bit better. Let's share the fact that we're going to be able to do a little bit better with her and give her the relist. And of course, now she's one of our favorite agents to work with. We will be reasonable, right? If we're making money and we're hitting our numbers, and we enjoyed working with you, we're going to try to make you happy. Sometimes we'll even take a little bit of a haircut to make you happy, but you've got to, like I said, help me help you. Let's make it a smooth transaction, and we'll try to hit our numbers. But anyway, I know there's a lot of investors out there. With me, my whole stance is I try to be upfront and honest with you guys. I try to be really direct. I try to give you an answer quickly, and more than anything is I try to get you paid. I want you to make as much money as I can working with us, right? Because that's what you're here for. At the end of the day, happy hours are great, networking is great, getting gifts in the mail is great, but you're in this business to make money. And like I mentioned before, these off-market deals are kind of rare. So when they come up, when you've got a deal where it's a fixer and the owner values a quick close over getting a little bit more money by listing it, when you get a deal like that, you deserve to get paid. And I know that if I get you paid, then I'm going to have a good reputation, and I'm also going to get more deals from you in the future. So that's my goal, is to give you a quick answer, to be really upfront and direct with you, to be honest, and to get you paid. And there are some times I think where I lose deals because I am honest, because I say, hey, look, at 400 we can give you the realist. At 425 we can't. And then I might lose it to another investor who pays 425 and promises the agent a realist, and maybe they give the agent the realist, maybe they don't. Maybe they were able to take a smaller margin, or maybe they promised that agent they'd buy it and give them the realist, but they had no intention of doing so. There are some groups that do that, as we all know. So I have lost deals that way, where an agent will come back to me later and say, hey, I sold it to this group and you were right. They paid 425. They offered me a realist. They didn't come through on the realist. You were going to pay 425, but at least you're upfront with me. I'll give you the next deal. So I'd rather lose a deal telling you I can pay this, but I can't give you the realist, than to get a deal from you, promise you the realist, and then not give you the realist on the back end. So anyway, just a quick video I wanted to make on the Relist drama here, right? That I have experienced in the last few months, but gave you some good examples and some bad examples. But either way, regardless, I'm going to try to be upfront with you and as honest with you as possible on the Relist situation. And again, even if it's a skinny deal, and I promise you that, and I tell you that we can't relist with you. There are some times where we might be able to work in some type of relist with you if you're cool, if you're easy to work with. So at the end of the day, on these skinnier deals, help me help you, so we can all make money and keep living the great life out here in San Diego. So again, Eric Lucas with GG Homes. Hope you enjoyed this video. And look for another video here that I'm going to do next week on a new kind of procedure that we're going to have for the relist, and what we can maybe offer to differentiate ourselves from other companies when it comes to giving you the realist. So we've got something that we've been discussing internally that I'm going to roll out and present via YouTube video and Facebook video next week. So until then, take care and stay dry.